Hi, everyone. Good news to report. I have been out of the house more than twice this week. Is that a record? Probably not, but maybe within the last few months. Um, so I had an eventful week, and eventful for me is pretty much whatever happens when I leave the house, because that's my life right now. But anyways, before I start, um, who's autistic this week? Nobody asked. It's still my embryonic. Still, she don't know it yet. I'm still behind in her episodes. I know this seems like an obsession of mine, but like this bitch needs to find this out at some point soon. Um, and like I listen to all podcast episodes like in a row from start to beginning. That's how I listen to podcasts, and I never skip episodes. But I had to skip like the empath HSP stuff. Sorry if any of you out there identify as such. I'm very sorry. I don't mean to offend. This is just my opinion that is code for autism. And I am not listening to it because I'm just going to be pissed the whole episode. Like, bitch, you're just talking about autism. You're just talking about autism. She's still autistic. Somebody needs to help me out with this. Anyways, uh, I'm wondering, is like a civil war about to break out in America? Because it sure seems that way. Um, like, have you seen the news? DC is being taken over by the military because that's exactly what it was designed for, is to turn against our own people. I do not want to spend any more time on this than I have to. I just want to acknowledge, just in case there's anybody out there thinking like, well, should I worry what people think? Well, you can't just turn that switch off. Um, I'm fucking pissed at what's going on, and my episodes might sound otherwise, but I don't want to spend every episode bitching about this dumb shit where we have a dictator now. Um, I don't know. Like, I feel like this is the makings of a civil war. If is that the right term I'm looking for? Yeah, I think so. Anarchy? No, that would be worse. Um, because apparently, like, we need to be policed and snatched off the streets. And I'm just going to move on because that shit pisses me off. If you are as pissed as I am, and for whatever reason you're not watching Mary Trump media on YouTube, get your ass over there and watch her shit. I promise you, it will make you feel better than you feel currently, because I love her sarcasm. I love that she calls him names. I mean, she is professional. They do report the actual news and dispel the myths, but I don't know. She just makes me happy because she just says what's on her mind. And I love my news dosed with some sweary words. But anyways, what else? Okay, so and this is all the hopes that you'll relate to some of this maybe and help me out and let me know that it's not just me. But so Alicia decided to do some rearranging last weekend. Now today's Thursday, and she talked about wanting to do this on Saturday. Basically, I love my wife. I swear I do. I love her so much. Just keep that in mind because I'm about to bash her, and she knows I'm doing it too. Caesar, I'll talk about you later. I'm doing something right now. Come on, dude. Sorry. This cat is insatiable. He wants all the pets in the world. Um, so I rearranged, I don't know, 3 months ago, 4 months ago, something like that. I like the way that the house is set up out there, not back here, because I'm in my room. Well, I like it back here, but you know what I mean. And she gave me permission to do what I wanted rearrange what I felt necessary. Oops, gotta turn that phone notification off. Shit. Hope you didn't hear that. Sorry about that. I'm professional. Um, so look, I only really like change, and I don't even want to say the word like. Um, but I only like it if like I'm the one doing it. Like when I rearrange stuff, if I'm in control of it, like and I have a plan and everything, like I'm okay with like how the process unfolds. But when somebody else does it and they make decisions that I feel are kind of poor, um, I don't know what to do about that. So I we have this huge table, this huge wooden table. It does take up quite a bit of space, but I love it. I love that table. We've had it for years. I sit there a few times a week and, I have like a little snack or something, just taking a break, and I look around at all the stuff on the walls and anyways, that's been like I like that table. I just like it. She took the table and I thought this bitch was joking. She took the table and she put it in her room and she used it, dun dun dun, for a fucking TV stand. What the fuck? This is a big table. It's not meant to be used as like a TV stand or whatever. That's not what it's designed for. And I'm like, why are you doing this? And she's like, well, because like when the kids come over, we want to be able to have them have like we just need to rearrange things a little bit so that they have like so their the bed I don't know how to explain it. So, whatever. So they have their bed and it's off to the side and there's a little space for them instead of like sitting in the middle, like the bed laying in the middle, like the fold out bed for the kid to sleep on. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Oh my God. In my defense, I've not even gotten 2 hours of sleep, and I'll explain that later. But anyways, um, so I started having an issue with this and I was like, "Are you serious? Like this is not like you." But then again, you did suggest that we take a huge piece of furniture and stand it on its side and just let that be that. And I go, "What happened to you? Like where did your design sense go?" And she's like, "This is the only way I could think of to make more space out there." And I'm thinking, "Yeah, to bring a bigger fucking table out there?" Cuz she doesn't have a proper TV stand. She has had her TV on this art table that folds out. It's really nice. It's wood, and she's used it maybe a handful of times and has had this for so many years. And her table has been, or her TV's been sitting on it. I don't know. I don't like the way it looks. It's not aesthetically pleasing, but yeah, it is hers, and she gets to do what she wants with it. Um, Caesar, honey, I'm sorry. I really do love my cats, but I'm trying to do something. Okay, so where was I? Oh, the table. So, first off, she didn't even really like check with me. Not, I mean, this sounds like, I don't mean to sound gross, but I'm just like, that's a pretty big piece of furniture to move. And when I told her that, like, how much I love that table and I sat at it, she seemed surprised. I'm like, bitch, we are apart for many hours during the day. You don't know what goes on here. I have a relationship with this table. You took it, you put it in your room, whatever. And not only that, but like she started rearranging her room, moving some stuff out, like from the library, just the whole front of the house was just like torn apart. And she started it Sunday and then she pittered out and there was a bunch of shit everywhere. And my brain couldn't take it because I don't like to see chaos like that. Unless I create it. That really is a huge difference. I don't know why. I mean, I do, but I don't. Um, I couldn't stand that like there was just shit everywhere. And like I thought to myself, like, um, knowing her, hold on, does this thing pause? I'm gonna try because I have to kind of kick Caesar out. Hold on. Hey, I did it! I found the pause button. Oof. I'll tell you about what's going on with him in a little bit, but I had to like close my door to my room because he's just meowing in the background and it's really distracting. So that's why I've just, sorry about that. Okay. Anyways, um, so she doesn't do things like, so she left this mess, right? And I know she has to go to work, like, because the following day is Monday. But we have Madeline coming over this weekend. And I knew she was gonna have it picked up by then, but like I knew that it was gonna be days before she even got to the rest of it. And something in my brain happened and I got really irritated and I just lived in my room. I mean, like I went out there for like drinks and like some snacks and some food, but I would bring it back here because it makes my brain crazy to see the house just in disarray like that. And it's all her choices, which is fine, I guess. And then, so like what I thought I would do to try to make myself happy is try to get that table, that art table that she uses for her TV. That's she's never used it but a handful of times. And I'm like, "Can I just have that? Because I could really use that back in my room." And she wouldn't give it up. And I get it. But also, I'm like, "You haven't used this. Now you have another place that you put your TV on. So what use is this to you?" She's like, "I might use it, play cards and games and stuff." And I was like, "Oh, sorry. Now the cats are scratching at the door. What the fuck? Can you guys be quiet, please?" Okay, that worked. That was Apollo. We can't be apart for very long. Anyways, maybe I shouldn't have recorded. But yeah, so anyways, she did not want to give that thing up. And I provided so much logic. I was like, "This how does this not make sense to you? You're the logical one in this partnership here. I'm not really that logical usually. And I'm giving you facts here of like you've never used this table. Like you used it for like a few times and then stuck your TV on it and that's what's been on it for years." And I'm like, "So how all of a sudden do you think you're going to start using it?" Like I said to her, I said, "Go ahead. Yeah, you'll use it. You'll bring it out like once or twice so we can play a game or something on it. And then you can say, 'See, I'm using it.' And then you're just going to put it off to the side and not fucking touch it for another several years." And so I gave her 1 month and we'll see how she does with like using the table. This is ridiculous. Oh my God. I'm just like, "Give me that piece of furniture because you took my other one away and you used it for something ridiculous. Like you were not supposed to have a kitchen table kind of thing in your room as a TV stand." It's just weird to me. Weird. Like we can do better than this. And so she's got the TV. She finally picked up everything else and my brain feels happier now. Oh my God. That was not fun. I was so pissed. Like, I get really, really irritated when things are not in their place, and I do not have OCD, but I don't like just messes like laying around the house, and I have no idea when she's going to decide to get to them, because she does things like, I don't know. Oh my God. Well, so there was that. And then here's this funny ass thing. So I suspect you might understand my way of thinking here. So I can't recall ever asking anybody for some money. Like I'm talking about coworkers or even friends, family. I have not asked for money over the years, like because it's just, I don't know, it just seems cringy to me. And even though I know that people do it and there's nothing wrong with it. But anyways, like when I've borrowed other things from people that are not money, I return them as soon as like I'm done with them. Like if it's a book or something, like as soon as I'm done with a thing, I give it back to the person because it's not mine. And I don't want to be known as somebody who just like doesn't return the shit that she borrows. So Alicia, it was like I want to say it was a month, probably more than that, where her work wife lent her $20 because she needed to have cash on hand for something. Like, I don't remember what I think she was going out to get people lunch or something. I don't remember. But like, she had mentioned something, and then her work wife was like, here's 20 bucks. Um, and so basically, Alicia has not paid her back. And it's been a month or more. And I'm like, who are you? Because for the last like several weeks, I'm like, have you paid her back? No. Have you paid her back? No. I'm like, are you serious? You need to pay her back. I will. And this has been going on for weeks. Then I started like leaving her little notes in her lunch bag, like, have you paid her back? You know, I left a couple of those, nothing. And so then yesterday she gets home, and then we're sitting out in the library and we're doing our daily check in. And I'm like, you need to go right now to an ATM and get $20 out so you can pay your friend back. And Alicia gave me some attitude. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, how does this not bother you? I don't understand. Like, it bothers me so much that, like, she had not repaid her. Like, you're supposed to do it immediately. And, like, Alicia's just like, I'll pay her back. And this is so unlike my wife. My wife is not like this. And I'm like, oh my God. So I said, you need to go get it. Just, you need to do it. And she did it after she rolled her eyes. I'm like, bitch, what are you smoking? Like, you know that you're supposed to pay people back right away. So she comes back home with a $20 bill, and I asked to have it because I'm going to, like, I think I mentioned before that, like, no, I'm not going to say that. I don't know how to say it properly, but I was going to, like, make something for her work wife, um, to be kind of funny. And I told Alicia, it's going to be poking fun at you. I hope you don't mind. And she's like, that's fine. Because she already knows how I am. So I made like a little envelope, a little homemade envelope. It was bigger than the other ones I make. And I put the $20 in there, and I put like a bunch of like sweary stickers in there. You know, like, here's where my fucks are buried, like that kind of stuff. And like a bunch of stuff about work because, you know, they really don't care too much for a lot of the people that they work with. So I put some funny work ones in there. And then I put like a couple of other things, like, I don't know how to describe it. But the most important part is what I wrote on the front, which I'll read to you because I'm very proud of this. I call it an ode to the forgotten 20, aka the long con. This is what I wrote to her work wife on the front of the envelope. It was just 20 bucks. A small, innocent loan. The kind you forget, like a reusable bag or birth control. She told me she would pay it back. Then she proceeded to live her life like she had never heard of money. I left notes. I asked multiple times. She looked surprised, like this was the first she was hearing of it. At some point, I stopped following up because I was starting to feel unwell. Today, she handed it to me like we should both be proud of her. So here it is, freshly laundered, only a month or more late, wrapped in dignity that doesn't belong to either of us. And then at the bottom, I put in parentheses something about like, I hope that I hope the rest of what's in this envelope will be sufficient interest that I'll be paying off on her behalf. I know that like her work wife will appreciate it, but I mean, what? That bothered me for so long. Like, I basically did this also for my own well being. I'm like, you need to do this. You need to pay her back. Does anybody else get like that? Like, do you have a spouse or like a friend or somebody that like has done this and it's not in their character and like it's very confusing? I don't know. I would just like to know if this was just me. I mean, I know it's not, but anyways. So so yeah, her friend has her $20 back thanks to me. Um, then like a couple days ago, we were at a doctor's appointment. It was for Alicia. It was just like one of those yearly checkups or whatever. And so her doctor comes in, who's a very good doctor in my opinion. She just, I think she's autistic, but she just knows her shit. She has a really nice, warm, like, uh, I don't know, bedside manner is what they call it. And she asks questions. She seems interested. Like, she's not just coming in there to be in there and type on the computer for however long. You know what I mean? So I like the lady. And so I'm sitting there and I'm listening to Alicia describe to her doctor stuff that's been going on with her, like that big rash that she had a few months ago and other times that she's fallen. And then like other stuff going on with like her body. And she just kept talking and I realized I was like, wow, she talks a lot in these appointments because I've gone with her to her other ones. She talks a lot and I found it odd in that moment because I thought of like me. I'm the total opposite. Like when I go to doctor's appointments, they get like yes or no, or like they get an explanation of like what's going on with me if there's anything. But it is like it is only the words, only the amount of words necessary to like say the thing. I do not drone on like, and I'm not saying, well, that sounded wrong. Sorry. I didn't mean that she was like droning on. I was just like, all of a sudden my brain latched onto, do people, do more people talk in appointments lots than the people that don't talk much in their appointments? Like, does that make sense? Um, and I realize it's not even like necessary that I know this, but like that's all I could think about in that moment. I was like, how can she just go on like this? Um, and then I was starting to reword what she was saying in my head and finding like shorter ways to say it so that it didn't have to take up so much time talking. I don't know what that was all about, but like, and then we left. I was like, dude, you talk a lot in your appointments. And I know you're supposed to tell them what's going on. And I wasn't bashing her. I was just like, do people usually talk this much in their appointments? Or are they like me and they're just like, they're there because they have to be, sort of, and then they just want to get out? I don't know. So that was interesting. Um, does that make sense? I hope that made sense. There's nothing wrong with talking in a doctor's appointment. Not at all. I just was surprised. I was like, I have, I don't know. I would never do that, because it just keeps me in the room longer than I want to be and extends a conversation. I don't know. It's just good for her. I wish I had that quality, but I do not. And so the last thing I have to say is, so I mentioned a few episodes back or so about Caesar and Alicia wanting to make an appointment. Uh-oh, I'm coming. Hold on. It's just a few more minutes. He doesn't know what I'm saying. Anyways, I was talking to a cat. Um, what was I saying? Oh, Caesar. So we had the vet appointment a little while ago, and I asked her to come get me because I have one of my tires, the air's low. I know you appreciate all these details, don't you? And she showed me how to put air in my tire before, but I just decided, nah, I don't really want to do it. And so she does the air just for now on. But like, so I didn't really want to drive my car over to the vet with like a tire like so low. It was like a low number. And so she came to get me, and I had Caesar in his carrier. And I am so glad that she picked me up and I did not have to like drive over or something with just him and me in the car, because this cat was howling. He's not seen the outside in 7 years, which is the last time when we brought him there. He was howling. He was trying to like just, he was just like jumping around in there trying to get out of the carrier. And I brought him to the car, and he just was howling the whole way there, and he never makes that sound. It is so sad. And then he's a very anxious cat. He always has been. But he started like panting and drooling, and I'm like, oh my God, he's going to die before we get him there. He's gonna have a heart attack and die because of this anxiety. And like my initial worry was that he would shit in the carrier from his anxiety, but then it was like, I hope he doesn't die. I was so sad. Oh my God, that poor cat. Um, and then we get him there, and it ends up being what we thought it was, which was like a thyroid issue. So he's got like thyroid disease. We have to bring him back in a month so that his levels can be checked again. And then like we have to get this medication for him every month to give to him every day, twice a day. Um, thank goodness it's not a pill. It's like liquid and you put it inside their ear and it like, I don't know, you can figure it out from there, but it apparently like works very well. And I was going there bracing myself for like maybe he's got cancer and they're going to tell us they have to, he's not going to live for much longer because that's just where my mind goes. Because we had two cats we had to put down there, and then we had my original kitty we had to put down in a animal hospital. So I'm just glad it's the thyroid thing. And so I'm hoping that like Caesar will calm down a little bit and not want to eat everything in sight. Um, because he's so skinny. And like the doctor was like, let's see what kind of skinny disease this cat has. And I was like, oh my God, that is so inappropriate, kind of, but it's also kind of funny because he's autistic. And I say things that, it was kind of funny, but also not. Um, so he did really well there, but I think he was having a panic attack. He was just like, tongue was hanging out of his mouth and he was panting like a dog. And all of a sudden, the jail that he thought the carrier was turned into his safe space. And I was like, he did not want to come out at all. I should shorten this and just say he survived. He lived. He lived on the car ride home and he didn't die like I thought he would because oh my God, I wish I could just use better words to explain this. It was so sad. Other cats that we've taken to the vet, they just do the normal meow, 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 meow. This one was like, wow. Oh, I kind of hope the mic didn't pick that up because I think that sounds more like a dinosaur. But so I was thinking that he's going to come home and I'm going to open the carrier and he's going to run and hide under the bed for hours like he did 7 years ago. And then the one time before that when we brought him there as a baby. Oh my God. Can you stop, please? Oh, I know. I'm still talking. My soul kitty number two is like scratching at the door and meowing. I gotta wrap this up soon. I love you. But anyways, so I open the carrier and he just trots on out and just completely changes back into regular Caesar, as if he had never left the house to begin with. His mouth closed, he stopped panting, there was no more drool, and he just plopped down on the floor like, ah, woof. And I was like, oh my God, you've come so far. You never did this before. So you really feel safe in this home. And within minutes, like he was eating snacks out of my hands and he was purring. It was like he never left. Um, I mean, that's all I really have to say because this cat is just meowing. You're not dying. You're not dying. I hope. Okay. Oh my God, I'm so sorry you had to. I hope you were able to. Oh my God, this cat. I gotta go. This is very, my brain's not working. I didn't have much sleep. But I hope all of this was relatable. And I hope to hear something from somebody that says that they related in some way. So I can feel better about myself. And thank you very much for listening. And sorry again about. I hope this episode makes sense, but I've got to let this cat in my room because that's my soul kitty. And I can't do this to him. Okay. Thanks for listening. Bye.